Welcome to this video on the power of logarithms, a comprehensive journey from mathematical theory to real-world application. A logarithm is the inverse operation of exponentiation. It asks, to what power must we raise a base to get a certain number? For example, since 10 to the third power equals 1000, the logarithm of 1000 to base 10 is 3. Logarithms were introduced by John Napier in 1614. Before calculators, they were revolutionary in astronomy and navigation because they allowed complex multiplication and division to be simplified into addition and subtraction. The fundamental identity relates exponents and logarithms. B to the y equals x is equivalent to log base b of x equals y. Here, the base must be positive and not 1, and the argument must be a positive number. This table demonstrates how to switch between exponential and logarithmic forms. Notice how each expression reflects the same relationship between the base, exponent, and result. Common logarithms use base 10. When a logarithm is written without a base, it is assumed to be base 10. These are used in scientific notation and scales, like the Richter scale. Natural logarithms use the irrational number e as the base. Now let's look at the laws and properties that govern how we manipulate logarithms. The product property states that the logarithm of a product is equal to the sum of the logarithms of its factors. This is useful for both expanding and condensing logarithmic expressions. The quotient property follows a similar logic. The logarithm of a quotient is the difference between the logarithms of the dividend and the divisor. The power property tells us that the logarithm of a number raised to an exponent is the product of that exponent and the logarithm of the number itself. The change of base formula is essential for calculating logarithms with bases other than 10 or Next, we will visualize logarithmic functions to understand their geometric behavior. The parent logarithmic function has a domain of positive real numbers, a range of all real numbers, and a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. It shows slow, consistent growth as x increases. Finally, we can transform these graphs. Parameters h and k control horizontal and vertical shifts, while a dictates vertical stretch or compression, changing the graph's position and shape. Now that we have covered the properties and graphing of logarithms, let's explore algebraic techniques for solving logarithmic and exponential equations. For simple logarithmic equations, the strategy is to rewrite the expression in its exponential form. As shown in these examples, converting log base b of x equals y into b to the y equals x allows us to solve for x directly. When dealing with multiple logs, use condensation properties to combine them into a single logarithm. After converting to exponential form, you may need to factor the resulting quadratic equation, remembering to check your solutions, as the argument of a logarithm must be positive. For exponential equations where you cannot easily match bases, take the logarithm of both sides. By using the power property, you can bring the exponent down, allowing you to isolate the variable x. Logarithms are not just theoretical. They shape our understanding of science and nature through various real-world applications. In seismology, the Richter scale measures the magnitude of earthquakes using a base 10 logarithmic scale. This allows us to compare vast differences in energy release on a manageable numerical range. In chemistry, the pH scale uses logarithmic measures to determine the acidity or alkalinity of a solution, representing the concentration of hydrogen ions. Sound intensity is measured in decibels, which is also a logarithmic unit. This reflects how the human ear perceives sound, as our sensitivity follows a nonlinear logarithmic progression. In finance, logarithms help calculate the time required for investments to reach a certain value, particularly when modeling compound interest over time. Natural phenomena, such as population growth and radioactive decay, are modeled using the natural logarithm and the constant e, providing deep insights into these processes. We have explored the history, theory, properties, and applications of logarithms. Mastering these concepts unlocks a greater understanding of how the world functions, from the smallest atoms to the largest structures in our universe. Practice is key. Try applying these techniques to various problems to solidify your understanding of these powerful mathematical tools. We hope this video has been a helpful guide in your study of logarithms. Thank you for watching, and continue exploring the vast world of mathematics. This slide provides a summary of key logarithmic identities that we've covered, including the definition, the product, quotient, and power rules, along with the change of base formula. Here we see a reference guide for graphing transformations. It outlines how modifications to the parent function impact the horizontal and vertical positions, as well as the stretch or compression of the graph. This section serves as a quick reference sheet for solving equations. It reminds us of the steps to convert between logarithmic and exponential forms, condense expressions, and isolate variables. Finally, we have a list of common logarithmic applications. From scientific scales to financial modeling, these examples highlight where these mathematical concepts are essential in daily life and professional fields. Welcome to the Logarithm Mastery Workshop. This video provides a step-by-step collection of logarithmic examples, covering everything from foundational concepts to practical, real-world applications. Let's start with basic evaluation. To solve these expressions, we identify the exponent needed to raise the base to the given value, as shown here for logs of 81 and 0.04. In our second example, we look at radical bases. By expressing both sides as powers of 2, we can simplify the equation and easily solve for x. Next, the product property. This rule allows us to combine log expressions by multiplying their arguments, effectively simplifying complex terms into a single solvable equation. Moving on to the quotient rule. Similar to the product property, this rule helps us condense log expressions by dividing the arguments, making evaluation much more straightforward. The power property is another essential tool. It shows how an exponent within a log can be moved, allowing you to solve expressions either directly or by using the property to simplify first. Expanding expressions requires combining multiple rules. By applying the quotient, product, and power rules in sequence, we can break down a complex expression into simpler, expanded parts. When solving logarithmic equations, we often convert to exponential form to isolate the variable. Always remember to check your solutions against the original equation to ensure they are correct. The natural logarithm, or ln, is frequently used. In this example, we take the natural log of both sides to solve an exponential equation, resulting in a decimal approximation for x. The change of base formula is vital when working with different log bases. It allows us to calculate any log using a calculator's standard base 10 function. Logarithms are widely used in science. Here, we see a common chemistry application, calculating pH levels based on the concentration of hydrogen ions. Decibel levels are also measured logarithmically. This comparison highlights how sound intensity increases tenfold with every 10 decibel increase, illustrating the scale's dramatic range. In finance, logarithms help us determine time. By using the formula for continuous compounding, we can calculate exactly how long it takes for an investment to reach a certain value. To wrap up, remember these key takeaways. Master the properties to simplify equations, utilize inverse operations, and recognize how logarithms manage large numbers in real-world science and finance. Thank you for watching this workshop. Mastery comes through practice, so keep working through these problems. For more resources, visit our website. This video utilizes several high-quality images to illustrate logarithmic concepts. A complete list of these image sources is provided here for your reference. Welcome to this video on visualizing logarithms, a graphical exploration of scale. Let's examine the anatomy of a parent logarithmic function. It features a vertical asymptote at the y-axis, crosses the x-axis at 1, 0, exhibits rapid initial growth that flattens out, and is only defined for positive x values. The choice of base significantly impacts the curve's steepness. A base of 2 yields steeper growth. The natural log provides a middle ground, while a base of 10 results in much flatter growth. The parameter h controls horizontal shifts. Subtracting h from x moves the entire graph right, creating a new asymptote, while adding h shifts it to the left. Vertical transformations also affect the graph. Adding a constant shifts the curve up or down. Multiplying by a stretches or compresses it, and negative signs cause reflections across the x or y axis. Why use logarithmic scales? They allow us to visualize massive datasets, spanning orders of magnitude, clarify relative change, and represent exponential growth as a straight line. A semilog plot combines a linear x-axis with a logarithmic y-axis. This transformation acts as a visual tool to turn exponential curves into straight lines, making trends significantly easier to interpret. The Richter scale is a practical example of a logarithmic function. Each step up in magnitude represents a tenfold increase in wave amplitude. If the base is a fraction between 0 and 1, the function becomes decreasing. As x increases, the y value decreases, though it still approaches a vertical asymptote at the y-axis. This summary table highlights how parameters like h and k transform key features, including the asymptote, domain, and characteristic points of the logarithmic function. In summary, logarithmic graphs are vital for translating complex multiplicative phenomena into readable, manageable, and linear visual representations. Thank you for watching this video. For more information, please visit the link on your screen. Here are the sources for the imagery used in this video.